Hi, I'm Sarah and I'm a private client partner here at Parry. I'm going to give you a quick update on where we're at with regards to the upcoming changes for non-domiciled individuals who are living long-term in the UK. So just to recap, in the spring 2024 budget, the Conservative government announced that they would be abolishing the current tax regime for non-doms, and these changes are due to come in from the 6th of April 2025. The Labour government have subsequently confirmed in their policy paper on the 8th of August that these changes will take place, and they will be broadly in line with those that have been announced by the Conservatives, but that they do want to take these further to remove any residual advantages for non-domiciles living in the UK. However, over the last few weeks, we are hearing some calls for the Chancellor to rethink the plans on tightening these rules even further, over concerns that it could actually drive wealthy non-noms out of the country and result in a net loss for the government. Just to put this into context, in the 22-23 tax year, non-doms contributed 8.9 billion to the economy, despite the fact that there were only around 74,000 individuals claiming non-dom status. So you can understand that that would be quite a big loss to the government. So broadly speaking, the headline benefits of the current regime for non-doms are firstly that they can claim the remittance basis of taxation for foreign income and gains for their first 15 years of residence in the UK. That means that as long as they don't bring in to the UK those foreign income and gains, they won't have to pay UK tax on them. From an inheritance tax perspective, as long as they haven't been in the UK for the last 15 out of 20 tax years, they will not be subject to UK inheritance tax on their overseas assets, only their UK assets. And thirdly, there's some very advantageous rules for non-domiciles when it comes to the implementation of offshore trusts, which allows these individuals to create offshore trusts and move assets into them before they have been in the UK for 15 years, and it will continue to allow those assets to benefit from the protections afforded to non-doms once they do surpass that 15-year period. Now, the government are now looking to move away from those rules and bring non-doms onto a residence-based regime, which means that for individuals who have not been UK resident in the last 10 tax years, they will be able to use the foreign income and gain regime for their first 4 tax years of residence in the UK. And this means that they won't pay any UK tax on their foreign income and gains, but they will be able to bring it into the UK. So a change from the current remittance basis rules. But you can understand why the government are thinking along these lines, because that will bring a big cash injection for them into the UK if they're allowed to bring those foreign income and gains here. Once individuals have been here for 4 years, they will be liable to pay tax on their worldwide income and gains in the UK. So anybody who's already been here for 4 years and was anticipating being able to make use of the remittance basis of taxation for up to 15 years is suddenly going to come into this completely new basis of taxation from the 6th of April 2025. So to cushion that, there are some transitional provisions which are coming into play, and it is these provisions that we are waiting for the budget to understand more about them. So there's going to be a temporary repatriation facility which will allow individuals who have been making use of the remittance basis of taxation to bring in foreign income and gains that they have currently not paid UK tax on into the UK and pay a reduced rate of tax. What we are waiting to understand is what will that reduced rate of tax be? There has been a rate of 12% banded around in the last few months. We're also waiting to understand how long that facility will run for. A further concession that will be brought in is the ability for individuals who have been making use of the remittance basis of taxation to rebase their capital assets for capital gains tax purposes. And we are waiting for HMRC to confirm what date that rebasing will apply to. We are also awaiting some clarity on how the overseas workday relief rules will apply to individuals coming to the UK, where they have a mixture of UK-based and overseas-based duties. What we are anticipating is that there will continue to be an exemption of tax for the income that relates to the overseas duties, but that unlike the current rules, they will actually be allowed to bring that income into the UK. So, that will actually be a simplification of the rules. In terms of how the rules will change for inheritance tax, again, this is going to be based on residence. So when an individual has been resident here for 10 years, their worldwide estate will be subject to UK inheritance tax. And this, of course, will be subject to any relief that's provided by double taxation treaties with other countries where those assets may be located. So again, that is reducing that time period that non-domiciles are currently used to of 15 out of 20 years down to 10 years. And in order to get out of that worldwide tax net, they will need to leave the UK for 10 years in total. What this does provide is a bit of clarity for individuals that are born and bred in the UK, so not non-doms. Currently, if they leave the UK, it's very difficult for them to say that they have broken their UK domicile. But having these residence-based rules will give them a much more clearer picture to know that once they've been out of the UK for 10 years, they will no longer be subject to UK inheritance tax on their overseas assets. So that will be some welcome clarity for those individuals. The government have also confirmed that they will be taking away the advantages which apply to trusts that have been created by individuals whilst they are outside of the scope of UK inheritance tax on their worldwide assets. So once that settler becomes subject to UK inheritance tax on worldwide assets, it is likely that any trust that they set up previously will also be pulled into the scope of inheritance tax on the worldwide assets of that trust. Now, again, we are waiting for the government to confirm if that will go ahead and what transitional arrangements will be in place for individuals who have already set up these structures, clearly not expecting this change. So that will remain to be seen when the budget is announced. So just to wrap up, there's quite a lot of uncertainty still when it comes to how these changes are going to apply and the transitional provisions that will come in to cushion the blow for current non-dormers living in the UK. So in conclusion, as you can see, there's still quite a lot of uncertainty in terms of how the rules will pan out and the transitional provisions that will be in place. My advice to you is that once the budget has been announced and we have some more clarity, please reach out to your contacts at Cooper Parry, myself, and the rest of the private client team, and we will be more than happy to help you to review your position. Thank you for taking the time to listen, and please feel free to reach out.